Testing 1 2 3. Check 1 2 1 2 3. Check. Actually live on Facebook. Let's see. All right. Welcome to View from the Han. I'm Nathan Simpson, and yeah, I'm back. It's been a while since I've been doing this, but yeah, I'm back. I'm here to talk about something that I think hopefully will be helpful for some people in Korea who are living here. Something kind of a hobby of mine, which is flying a drone, and flying a drone is basically flying an aircraft. It's not easy to just go out and do, and if you do that, you might be breaking some laws or putting some people in danger. When you fly a small aircraft, you have to be careful. So I just want people, if they're going to do it in South Korea, to do it legally, to do it responsibly, and especially if you're a foreigner, it's good to try and promote a good image of people who are coming from abroad to live here. And also use your photography as a way to show what Korea is like, some of the natural beauty, beautiful cityscapes. That's what I like to do. And you can do that with a drone, but you have to put some effort into it. And I'm going to talk about that topic tonight. And the first obstacle you're going to meet with when you deal with flying a drone in Korea is actually, of course, language. So I'm going to talk about flying a drone in Korea with regards to language tonight. It's a basic thing that you have to learn just to do all the things you need to do to fly it legally, to do all of the paperwork and whatnot. So let's just have a look at some of the topics first, and then I'll just give a little bit of a description about each one and a little bit of my experience. So, yeah, hopefully you can see there. Okay, there we go. So the first topic we're going to talk about is what level of Korean do you need to fly a drone? Next is just a sort of a preview of what the license materials look like. And Next, we'll talk about filing paperwork and communicating with authorities, maybe some special challenges and what can help. So first, what level of Korean? Well, you can see here, this is just a screen capture of the newspaper. If you can read the newspaper in Korea, you'll probably be okay. You'll be able to do most of the things you need to do to fly a drone in South Korea. And what level is that? Well, in South Korea, we have a level test called the Test of Proficiency in Korean, or the TOPIK test for short. And there are 6 levels. 1 is the lowest level, and 6 is the highest level. The newspaper, if you have a level 4, around a level 4, which is sort of intermediate, upper intermediate, then this could be okay. If you have a level 5 or 6, this will be pretty easy for you. But if you're going to have a level 3, lower intermediate, or below, it's going to be a real struggle. You're going to have to use the dictionary a lot. I'm a level 3.5-ish, maybe close to level 4, and I struggled with a lot of the material. So speaking of the material, let's have a look at the material. Well, here are some materials from the license test. And you can see they're talking about some safety laws and business law for operating a drone business. And it's very technical Korean. It's aviation Korean, so it's going to be a little difficult. And some of these things get a little bit even to like, how does your eye work and how does it perceive at nighttime versus daytime? How does sleep affect your ability to fly something? And it feels a little bit like, why are they putting all this in there? It seems a bit much. But I think that's what you would learn for, I think, even a normal regular commercial pilot's license or private pilot's license. So they're just trying to get you ready for those kinds of things. And don't feel bad, because you're not the only one wondering, like, why is all of this, even like psychology is included in this. And if you can see here, yeah, here is a screen capture I took from one Korean YouTube video about the drone test, and it was basically saying like, what, even they're going to ask about REM sleep and vector physics, like, why? And they do. It's in the materials, but you're not the only person kind of questioning and struggling. Even Koreans, native Koreans, are kind of struggling with it. So one is, it can be done, and 2, you're not alone in the struggle. Even people who speak the native language are a little bit bewildered at the content. So don't feel bad and don't be discouraged. If you put the effort in, I think you can do this. I mean, I did some of these things already, and it was effort, but if you put it in, I think you can manage it. So here's some of the things you do have to do when you communicate with authorities. And here you can see, oh, there's some paperwork. Oh, what? Paperwork? Yeah, yes. You have to file paperwork. You have to file sometimes you have to file like a flight plan, or you have to tell people what location you're going to fly at and when. And how you do that, it's through a website online, and it's all in Korean. And sometimes you'll file paperwork and they'll give you some instructions like, oh, you're missing something on your paperwork, please add this, or you can't do that because this law or whatever. You're going to have to file this paperwork. You're going to have to talk to the people who are managing this. And sometimes you'll even have to call them on the phone and maybe submit some of your pictures you took with your drone. So you need to be able to communicate with them, and that's going to require Korean. So it's going to take some confidence and perseverance to do that too. It takes some patience. All right, so the next topic is special challenges. This is South Korea. There's North Korea. There's security issues here. And so you can see this is a map of Seoul, and there's these security zones where you have to get permission, or you basically can't fly your drone. And knowing where those things are, you can look at a picture like this, but there are also some online apps, but those apps are in Korean, and you need to know the Korean to be able to use the app with some sort of detail. And the app is also pretty good because it's got information on some good places to fly your drone. If you want, you can go see some recommended locations and some of the pictures they took there. But this is another challenge, is just sort of the security issue, and some of there are just sometimes even daily updates on certain things about where you can fly, and you need to be able to understand some of them in Korean. Some of them you'll get in English because they'll apply to basically any person flying an aircraft, and they usually publish those in English for, international flights and whatnot. But using the apps and understanding some of these things will take some Korean. So what can you do? What can help get you ready for this? Even if your Korean's not that good, what can you do? Well, one thing I didn't do this for this purpose. I got my drone license in Canada, the basic one, so I could fly it in Canada. But I realized I had taken that license and I was following some things about drone laws in America and how to fly your drone safely in America, just watching videos on YouTube about it. And it just sort of gives you a general background on like principles of flying an aircraft, and even some of these airspace classifications they sort of carry over. The American test right now it's related to the law Part 107, so it's called the Part 107 certification, I think. And if you studied for that, it would really give you a good context for what they're talking about when they're saying it in Korean. A lot of the things are similar, but yeah, it will help you guess. You're going to be able to guess a lot better at what's going on, what they're talking about, because you sort of know the general ideas around flying an airplane safely or flying an aircraft safely. And then when you see it in Korean, you go, oh yeah, I remember I learned about this and it was this in English, but now it's this in Korean. And then you can start to put things together. It'll be a little different. They're not exactly the same because North Korea and other things, Korea does things a little bit differently, but having the concepts there really helps you build that foundation. Okay, and yeah, that's basically a lot of the introduction to language, how you have to deal with language. And so what else can you do? Well, I think hopefully in the future, if there's enough interest in this video, I'm going to try and put out more videos where I've translated some of the Korean basic information, and maybe if it gets really far, I'll try and translate some of the more advanced information into English to help people just understand the laws and see what they have to do to get some of those certifications or get those authorizations. So you can see the list here, my introductory list. Basically, this would be the list of topics that I'd kind of want to cover: getting a license, filing the paperwork, and some special challenges. Those are some of the things I'd like to talk about. So if you're interested in these topics, yeah, just leave a like on this video. You can subscribe and follow up with me. If there's anything else you'd like to know about like a good place to fly your drone or whatever, just any other questions, you can feel free to leave a comment, and yeah, I'll try and get back to you and let you know what I've found out. I don't know everything. I'm not a Korean law expert. I'm not a licensed private pilot or a commercial pilot, but I do have my Korean sort of multi-copter certificate and my Canadian basic drone pilot's license, or I did 2 years ago. I think I might have to recertify that, but I do have some experience. So I'm just trying to share my experience. This isn't like legal advice or like the experienced pilot trying to tell you, but just someone who's been through it once and knows a few things and knows a little bit of Korean, so maybe I can give some English translation and context to it. And I'm thinking about getting some of my friends who do speak Korean as a native to help me. So yeah, let me know. Follow up with me by leaving a comment or clicking like and subscribing here. And if I get enough response, then I'll work on the next video. I think the next video I'm going to do is probably going to be about the license test. And just some of the very basic things you need to know for the license test. I'm not sure I can cover everything because, I mean, even I was struggling with some of the content. It's quite extensive, a lot of the material, if you're not a native Korean speaker. So, but I'll try and give some of the basics of what you need to know for the test and what the test is like, and the test conditions, those kinds of things. Yep. All right, so that's all for tonight from with a view from the Han. I've been your host Nathan Simpson, and I'll see you next time.